podcast. My name is Adam.
My name is Sherry.
Sherry Beth, what episode is this?
102.
102. I do want to let you know we are in week 2 of a series.
Yes.
Our Advent series, where we're going through the 4 themes of Advent: hope, peace, joy, and love. And these are shorter episodes than we normally have here on the LeggLife podcast.
Yeah.
They're designed to be just kind of moments of breath in the middle of the craziness of the holidays.
Yes.
If you have not listened to last week's episode number 1, I would encourage you to go back and listen, just because we sort of start that episode with a foundation of what Advent is, why we're doing that, kind of the meaning behind all of this, that this series is not just for people who share our faith or a faith like ours, but
kind of universal.
Yeah, I would
themes.
hope that hope, peace, joy, and love are things that all of us are trying to have be true in our life.
Yes.
And so this week, week number 2, is the Advent theme of peace.
Yes, it is.
This is a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Because I feel like so much in our world is combative. So much in our world wars against peace. Mm-hmm. Not just peace in our world, but internal peace, peace of mind, all of that. It feels like that stuff is always under attack.
Yes.
Sherry Beth, what the heck does peace mean to you?
When I think of peace, my brain goes 2 different ways. So there is the peace, which is the absence of conflict, which in today's world is just non-existent.
It sure seems that way.
And, not just, countries fighting, but I think, like you were saying, the internal peace, the relational peace. Like, I just feel like there's, if you're looking for no conflict, for peace to exist, you're never going to find it.
Yep.
But the other place my brain goes in regards to peace is this word serenity. I think when you think of the word serene, if you would describe somebody as serene, I just picture calm in the midst of chaos. And kind of, to borrow a biblical phrase, the peace that passes all understanding. I think that when it doesn't make sense and peace is present, that is true peace.
Yeah.
That's where, and again, it's hard. It's not something that I think that we are naturally inclined to feel or have. I think it's something we have to search for, and I think it's something we have to hold on to.
I think for me, you touched a lot on kind of my definition of peace. To me, peace is not the absence of conflict. Because if peace was the absence of conflict, then there is no peace to be found in this world.
Ever.
And that is so discouraging.
You're right.
Right? It's like, well, I guess maybe we'll have peace someday in heaven. Like,
right. That's sucks. Bleak.
That's bleak. It is bleak. And so to me, peace has to be able to exist even in the presence of conflict. And so then peace is outside of that. We actually touched on that a little bit last week, where we mentioned how these Advent themes, hope isn't just like wishful thinking.
Right. It's an action.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Next week, we'll touch on how joy is not just happiness, right? There's a difference in all of these themes than what like the world might give you.
Right.
And so peace to me has to be something that exists even in the presence of chaos or conflict. And to me, like with my view is that peace is the presence of Jesus, the presence of God, even in the middle of chaos. Because I do believe that you can experience peace in the middle of battle. I do believe you can experience peace in the middle of all of those kind of things. And I think that that's when they're talking about peace here in this theme of Advent. I think that it's not just about, hey, just be nice to each other. First of all, yes, just be nice to each other.
Just be nice to each other.
But
but also,
like, it exists outside of that.
Yeah.
Sherry, what has peace, like, when you are looking for peace, what does peace look like for Sherry Legg?
I am an internal processor. So I am rarely at peace with myself. Because I see every side of every issue, and I can find 5 different tracks to get to different places. Like my brain is constantly finding the conflict and finding the holes and finding the mess. And so for me, I think peace is, like I said, that serenity, that otherworldliness that is kind of removing myself from the chaos that is my brain and that is the world I live in, and intentionally seeking the calm. So for me, that involves music often, or literally just sitting in silence and allowing my brain to rest.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what it looks like for me.
Just kind of stilling the motion of the world, quieting the noise of the world.
Yeah.
And intentionally, like, removing yourself from all of the things that do battle against your internal peace.
Yes.
I think that mine, and just so you know, like, I 100% see that in you. Like, that's exactly what I see in you. In fact, when I see things start to not get peaceful, or even at times when the world is in heightened sense of turmoil, you tend to remove yourself from that.
I retreat.
You retreat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like you need to carve out the sanctuary, the serenity, the place of, like, tranquility.
Yes.
Because you can't live in that chaos.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also highly an empath.
Uh-huh.
And I feel everything that other people feel. So I have a really hard time even watching the news.
Yeah.
Because I can immediately transport myself to the horrors that these people are experiencing.
Yeah.
And I can't physically handle all of that, so I have to remove myself.
But I think that that's a good illustration, because the reality is that even in a world where the news is full of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year horrors, we can have peace.
We can have peace.
Peace
right?
is there.
You just have to seek it.
You have to seek it. So to me, I am a news junkie. Right? I am addicted to a 24-hour news cycle. Now, I'm much better than I used to be.
You are, yeah.
Much better than I used to be. Part of that is because of this topic of peace. I realized that when I am so connected to that cycle, what it causes in me is chaos, and my focus starts to be on all that is chaotic and all the conflict in the world, which only leads me to anxiety, which only leads me to stress, which only leads me to despair. And so I intentionally have to fight against what I would naturally do and focus on things that bring me peace, focus on aspects of God that are peaceful, focus even in this season, the reminder that Jesus is called the Prince of Peace. Even though there's like 100 Christmas parties and we've got like all this stuff going on, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, we got to do that. I have to stop and breathe and say, Adam, like, this is a season when we are remembering the arrival of the Prince of Peace.
Right.
Yet your life looks like the manager of chaos.
Right.
You know? And so like there's a disconnect there. And so I have to refocus on things that are more true than the chaos of the world. And for me, that is like aspects in nature of God that are peaceful, even in the middle of chaos.
Right.
And I just think that that is so important to all of us, because you guys, I really do. I wish we lived in a world where peace was the norm.
Right.
Doesn't that sound just amazing?
I don't even know what that looks like.
But that's what we were created for. We were created for peace in the garden. We were created for the garden, yet we live in this shit show of like chaos and conflict.
Yeah.
And so what we have to do is we have to look for the peace in the middle of all of it. And I think that my challenge, even as we're kind of talking about this, is during this holiday season when the world is once again crazy and when our schedules are once again packed, that I need to be intentional about seeking peace.
Yeah.
And not let myself drift into one of the other ways. And so, you guys, that's, that during this Advent theme, we're not asking you to go over to YouTube and leave comments on the video and tell us, like, hey, what's peaceful to you? This is more introspective.
Yep. Find the things that bring you peace and press into those.
And here's the thing. You may be the kind of person who says, you know what? I don't even know what that is anymore.
Right.
Right? I've been there. Where it's like, I look at my life and things that used to bring me peace no longer bring me peace. In fact, in one of our work trainings, I tell this story about, this was almost a year ago. I went to a float tank. And float tanks for me are very peaceful, right? It's really been a place of peace for me. And so what I normally do when I go into a float tank is I think about things that are relaxing and peaceful to me, and then eventually I drift off to sleep.
Right.
But I remember last year being in that float tank and just being filled with anxiety because all of the areas of life that normally for us have been peaceful for more than a decade were chaotic.
Right.
When I thought of family, I thought of like family conflict. I thought of like relatives that were passing away. When I thought of friends, I thought of all of our friends who were getting divorced. When I thought, it was like every area of life was stressful and anxious,
right,
not peaceful.
Yeah.
And so if you're in that place where, man, I don't even know what brings me peace, figure it out.
Right. I mean, honestly, and it's so important to find what brings you peace and press into that. And, I think as Christians, we can find our peace in Jesus, but if that's not what you believe in, find it in something else. Like there's something that will bring you peace.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There is something that will bring you peace. I'm going to spring a question on you that we didn't talk about. And I know you hate when I do this, so I'm sorry. But I want to get really practical in this. Today, what is something that's brought you peace today?
Well, I'm finding it cold a little bit. And so honestly, sitting in my chair with my blanket and reading has been extremely peaceful for me.
So just like having...
It helps settle my mind, which helps settle my body.
It's a great answer. To me, we went into today... And when we went to sleep last night, I had all of my plans on how today was going to go.
And then I woke up not feeling well.
And then Sherry woke up not feeling well. And like all of those plans went out the window. And at first, my natural reaction is like, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, there's one shot to do this stuff because it's the holidays. You know what I mean? It's not like, we'll go next month. And so I was kind of bummed. But then, it's not your fault. Because here's the thing. If peace exists, it also has to exist when plans change and when life happens, right?
Right.
And so while you were napping, I haven't picked up my book in like the last 10 days, and I got to sit down and just read a whole bunch. And that was super peaceful to me. And even being like, you know what? I'm going to choose peace, right? Because just like hope...
In the midst of all your plans being chaotic.
In the midst of... Yeah, because I wanted chaos today. I wanted busyness. I wanted go, go, go. I wanted the crowds. I wanted all of that kind of stuff. But there I am still at home. And so what I have to do is just like hope, when you have to choose hope, I had to choose peace today. And honestly, it's been a really nice day. Like, yeah, it's been a really nice day, even though it looked so different than what I had expected.
Yeah.
So, what does peace look like for all of you today? Where are the places you find peace? I think that in a world that is only getting more and more chaotic and more crazy, it's important that we become people who understand more and more what it is, who it is, the kind of things that bring us peace.
Yep.
Good?
Good.
Friends, we love you. And we will see you next week for week number 3 here in our Advent series as we talk about joy.
Joy.
I've got the joy down in my heart. You were supposed to say where. say where?
Where?
Down in my heart.
Yep,
that's it. Okay, Sherry's so disappointed in me. Friends, I love you guys so very much. We will see you on the next LeggLife video. Bye.